Hello and welcome back everyone to another Sidemen React video. Now, it is getting a little bit late, but it's also not like super late, so this is the last video I got to record for tonight. So this is the 10 biggest lies ever told in history. Which is like, what? So I'm not sure exactly what's gonna happen, but I'm also very intrigued because, why the freak you lying? Why you always lying? Sorry, that's just what popped in my brain. The first time I saw this the title for the video, I was like, yeah, sorry. So, with that being said, let's get into this video and see what kind of lies we have been told.
Howdy, ladies and gentlefolk. Welcome back to Sidemen Reacts. Today, I'm joined by Minter and Harry. And
hey, and Christy!
10 biggest lies ever told in history. Have you got any crazy lies, lad?
I'm trying to think about a lie I've told in my life, like a really bad one. There is.
Not a single lie. You've never told a lie.
No,
I have. When I was younger, I stole like a little ornamental frog from one of my. Like when I was like 5, I stole it from like one of my friend's house, and my mum knew I'd done it, but I refused to tell the truth to her, so she was even more upset that I wouldn't come clean.
Oh, that's cool.
No, I did steal the frog.
You know, like the Nando's chicken that they put on the table, and then they come around and collect to say like, "Oh, you've got your food and stuff." I stole one of those or a couple of those and said, "Yeah, everything's great." So I lied to the worker.
Wow.
Yeah,
damn.
Crazy, right?
How about you, Simon?
I mean, I've lied a lot, but I can't think of it.
I'm not trying to expose ourselves, and then you're always going to get off.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to
I see how you're moving, Simon.
I've just incriminated myself now. Though. I can't believe it. Don't worry,
Simon, you might be on this list.
Oh, no! I
Simon, we'll watch everyone else's lies, right?
We all know you shouldn't trust everything you see on the internet,
trust me.
but as it turns out, we shouldn't believe
learned.
everything that we're taught in school either.
Yeah.
Our textbooks are overflowing with exaggeration, misinformation, and sometimes downright lies.
Ooh, okay.
Can the Great Wall of China really be seen from space?
Yes.
Is it true that genius Albert Einstein actually failed math class in high school?
Purely because this is a
what
video
other
about
nonsense
lies.
have we been spoon-fed? Let's
Or the
dive in
clickbait
and find out.
True.
All right, ladies and gents, let's
wanna
kick
go
off
Machu
this
Picchu.
countdown of lies.
Oh.
When you think of world wonders, what comes to mind first? Machu Picchu, the pyramids, or the Great Wall of China? For us, it's the latter, and for good reason. Because what other world wonder is visible from space? Exactly. But here's the thing. The so-called Great Wall isn't even that great. The truth is that it simply cannot be seen from outside our atmosphere. Even from the moon, which in the grand scheme of the universe is relatively close.
I was like,
According to NASA, the unaided eye cannot see the wall from a low Earth orbit, despite it being 13,170 miles long. While it is
well, see, it's long. It's not big. You know what I mean? If it was like a big thing like that.
21,000 kilometers long. I thought you could like walk across it. I thought that was the whole point, but no.
You've been very generous there as well.
It's 21,000. The world's not even 21,000 kilometers.
Oh, Lord, Harry.
You called it longer than Simon, that was very generous of you.
Circumference of the world.
Oh my god.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Hang on, hang on a minute. The circumference of the world is 40,000 kilometers. You're telling me half the world is fucking surrounded by this bloody wall? What? Length of Great Wall of China. It is! How is that a thing? How is it half the length of the width of the world?
No.
It is not. In terms of width, it's only 20 feet at the bottom and 16 feet at the top. This myth first started circulating in the mid-1700s.
It's such a pointless wonder, isn't it?
Way before we made it up onto the moon or started putting satellites into space. Over 10
Did
million people visit the winding Great Wall of
so-
China every year. Unfortunately,
Someone comment to me, please, for the love of God, how it's possible for it to be over half the circumference of the world. Okay, I'm really confused right now.
it's not thick
Maybe because
enough
of
to
the
be
turns
seen
and
from the
twists, Harry.
stars. Myth busted.
Yeah, like that's not a straight line
Yeah.
across the world.
Yeah, it's not,
It's all
Ever
crammed
took
in.
a
And
But
history
also,
class at
yeah.
school in the USA, we're pretty sure that you've heard of a certain George Washington. No, not George Washington Carver, the man who invented peanut butter, but George
did he
Washington,
say
the
like
founding
that?
father who
I don't
served as
know.
first president of the United States from 1789 to 1797. We've always been told of this famous tale about him and his dad in a cherry tree. But we've come to accept it wrongly as fact.
See, I don't think this
If
is
you
one
need a
for
quick
us.
refresher, here's the
Yeah,
story in rapid
don't
time.
know.
Little 6-year-old George Washington was given a hatchet from
Why is he
dad for
aged
his
like that?
birthday. George
You know, just let it be, okay?
He was mad and confronted George, who instead of denying it said the famous words, quote, "I cannot tell a lie." Here's the thing though, "I cannot tell a lie" was a lie.
Yeah.
Even though Washington was already a great dude, a biographer named Mason
Bro, that
Locke
horse-
Weems
that horse's
exaggerated
face
his
is
notable
hilarious.
characteristic great dude.
It kind of is.
Found out I was alive.
Biographer named Mason Locke Weems exaggerated his notable characteristics even further. Weems simply made up the tale to highlight Washington's honesty and his good nature.
Oh, that's nice though.
Damn.
If you hadn't quite quenched your thirst for mind-blowing revelations about world wonders, then fret not, because we've got
Aliens!
Aliens! If we asked you to
I'm taking
tell us
Josh.
who built the pyramids, what
Sorry.
would your response
Aliens.
be? The ancient Egyptians, right? The wealthy put slaves to work, dragging incredibly
No,
heavy stones up
aliens.
slopes until finally they created an unforgettable landmark. Well, that's not quite
Landfish.
true either. Sorry to burst your bubble, pharaohs, but the majority of the manpower was in fact not the slaves. That's what the 19th century
Look at
scientists
these bloody
thought.
slaves claiming credit for everything.
Oh, Harry.
Oh my god, Harry, I just realized what you said. Dear freaking lord. What did...
No, that's a joke. It's a joke.
I know it's a joke, but dear lord, Harry, it just blew my freaking mind. Like,
It was the entire healthy population of
nowhere.
ancient Egypt. Over a span of 85 years, between 2589 and 2504
Lies.
BCE,
Aliens.
that put blood, sweat, and tears into their
Yeah,
national
I'm sure it's easy,
icon.
like, surely they can't
For
have built
those who
this
weren't
stuff, bro.
physically hauling the stone, they were preparing
Bro.
food for the builders, housing them,
There's so much
acting as
weird shit
security,
going on in there.
and some even headed out on long journeys in search of stone and metal.
cat.
Yeah.
After all of that cumulative
that.
work, it paid off.
Oh,
The pyramids
weren't
are the
cats, like,
only wonder of the
worshipped or
They
something?
loved
Yeah,
cats,
they
didn't
were.
they? He's just grabbing it
Why
by
is
the
he-
neck.
Yeah.
acting as security, and
Look at him
some
holding
even
a
headed
cat,
out on
look.
long journeys.
Oh no, I think no, but he's holding it by like, the scruff of its neck, which is actually like the humane thing to do. So maybe he's just like running around with his.
Oh
dog.
wait, they're actually in a war. Look,
Oh,
there's a
so
cat
he's saving.
flying.
He's
Oh, there's
saving
cats
it.
all over the
oh,
gaff.
there's cats. There's cats. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
there's
there's
cats
where are they
flying
seeing these
everywhere.
cats?
Oh,
I'm
there's
so
lots of
confused.
cats.
I'm
now
blind.
I've looked at the bigger
What the
picture.
frick?
After all of that cumulative work,
got some arms
it
on him.
paid off. The
Awesome.
pyramids are the only wonder of the ancient world that still stands today. If you're curious, it's these ones that are long gone.
Huh.
Wow.
Joining the Liar Liar Pants on Fire party next is the one and the only, the totally fake
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
No,
Look
this
at
isn't
Did you-
exactly There's always been speculative evidence supporting Nessie's
I wish he was
existence.
real.
I'd still be shook to swim in the Loch Ness, you know.
Would you?
Like,
Just in case.
just mentally, I'd be like, bro,
Yeah.
is this Donnie's gonna yam me up?
I wouldn't be scared of a monster. I just think there's weird things in there. Scottish
Yeah.
Like so, weird things in there. Yes, Scottish people.
In this case is the so-called surgeon's photo.
a duck.
This photo, the one that helped Nessie to transition from an urban legend into a realistic and frightening
wish it was real.
possibility. This is the Loch Ness, located in Scotland.
If it was real, though, it
and the
would've been
stories
killed
of a
by now.
mysterious
Yeah.
creature swimming around
Give
in
us
its
the
waters
cunts.
actually go back to the 6th century CE.
Really?
The first shred of evidence, well, false evidence technically, was taken by Robert Kenneth Wilson in 1934 and was assumed to be accurate for close to 60 years.
What?
Right.
However,
What?
all good things must come to an end.
Looks like
and
fucking
in
Jar Jar Binks in that
1994,
picture, mate. Look at it.
Oh my god, it kind of does.
See how much is it? He went into effort to make this.
Or it was revealed that the shape of Nessie was nothing more than a toy submarine in disguise. What was a toy
What?
submarine doing there? Long story short, it was deliberately placed by a man named Marmaduke Weatherall. He used to work for the
Bloody
Daily
Marmaduke,
Mail
mate.
newspaper, and after they
silly guy.
ridiculed him for writing a piece about Nessie's footprints, which turned out to be false, he got his revenge, fooling the newspaper as well as everyone else.
Marmaduke changed the world.
We've actually got an entire video about Nessie. After this one, check it out. The link is in the description.
Fair dues.
Alrighty, moving on. Okay, when you think of a Viking, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
And
Besides
the Gaelic
boats?
gladiator,
That's right, that's
Sean
those big horn
McLaughlin.
helmets.
I just-
Yeah, well, we're sorry to say it, folks,
Oh,
but
God.
that too is a lie.
No!
It's
What?
just a stereotype that
No!
emerged as the result of Vikings becoming more and more prevalent in mainstream media. As it turns out, however, historians have looked at a number of Viking tombs, and not once have they ever found a helmet that had horns.
Aw.
Yes, Scandinavians
Aw, that-
probably did sport some sort of headgear
They
when
used
they
to drink
marched
out of
into
them as well,
battle,
apparently.
but there is no reason to believe that it was bedazzled with horns.
Like,
In fact, that
yeah.
actually make it easier for the enemy to grab and remove.
True.
So where did the idea come from? The popular image of the Viking we know today actually dates back to the 1800s. It was then that Scandinavian artists like Gustav Malmström drew the horned headgear in their portrayals of the Viking people.
okay,
and then,
okay.
well, it just stuck.
Yeah.
The horns just got bigger and bigger.
Speaking of
as well.
unique outfits,
Yeah.
our next fib is all about the former king of pop, Michael Jackson himself. No matter how you feel about him as a person and all the controversy surrounding him,
Forget these minutes. What the frick are you doing?
he had a monumental impact on the music industry. When he wasn't releasing toe-tapping, chart-topping hits, he was creating dance moves like the moonwalk.
Boom.
That every fan around the world would try to imitate instead of their mirrors at home. Sorry to burst your moon bubble, but that captivating moonwalk wasn't
not like
actually
that.
invented
No, but you
by
can do it.
MJ. Sure, he showed it to the world when he was performing Billie Jean at the Motown 25th Anniversary Live show in 1983, but it wasn't his to show off. Jackson actually learned it from Casper Candidate and Cooley Jackson, who performed it on Soul Train in the 1970s.
But he did it smooth as well, you know.
AKA Bip the Clown showcased the move prior to MJ. And even before those guys, the move's inaugural performance came from tap dancer Bill Bailey. Back then, it wasn't even called the moonwalk. Any guesses? The backslide.
Yeah. Oh, creative that.
Okie dokie. So who here has ever heard of something called carbon dating? No,
me.
it's got nothing to do with Tinder. It's a method used to analyze materials that once exchanged carbon dioxide with the atmosphere and decipher when that exchange happened. What? In other words, archaeologists use carbon dating to determine when things were living. We thought that this method was a great way to measure when trees, humans, animals, and plants thrived. And the professor who produced the first carbon dates way back in 1949, Willard Libby, was given the Nobel Prize. So, as you can see, the scientific world took it pretty darn seriously.
Yeah?
But since then, scientists have actually recognized that carbon dating is subject to error.
Ah.
Because of a variety
Take
of
it back.
factors, including contamination by outside
something
sources
else,
of carbon
scientists.
in the environment. This affects the natural decay and makes the evidence all a little wishy-washy. Plus, other elements like the fact that the same plant, one in America and one in Greenland, for example, can grow in different eras due to things like temperature variations.
Oh.
So if carbon dating is an actual...
This is,
So
you know,
it's
we
a load
we
of
put the clip
bollocks.
in of Ethan saying, "That's amazing," but because I don't care.
Yeah. Harry, I was just about to pause it and say, well, this one's pointless, bro. Just skip it.
You might not be old enough
fuck
to
is that?
remember this. We certainly aren't. But there was a time where the big tobacco companies ran advertising campaigns that said, and we are not kidding, cigarettes are good
Yeah.
for your
It makes
health.
it healthy,
Oh,
remember
yeah,
that?
Well aware of the health
Bro,
risks, so we won't dwell
cigarettes
on it.
is
But
such a
back
weird
in the
thing.
mid-1900s, companies were getting doctors' approval to sell cigarettes. In 1951, L&M advertised their filters as just what the doctor ordered.
Oh my
In
lord.
1949, an advertisement for Viceroys featured a dentist that told the customers that, as your dentist, I would recommend Viceroys.
Money talks,
In
baby.
the 1920s and
Oh my
30s, Lucky
God.
Strike used celebrity endorsements who would say things like, I protect my voice with Lucky.
What?
And Craven A began marketing its cigarettes under the slogan, for your throat's sake, as early as 1939.
What the
As later
frick?
found out, this was nothing but lies, sprinkled with misinformation and topped with a few more lies. It worked though. In
So you know what'd be mad,
1950s
right?
America, 45%.
Imagine in
yes.
20 years,
I think
we
this,
see
you
another
know-
video, and it says smoking is actually good. For
Oh my
No,
lord.
no.
Or just like something now
No.
that we don't know is bad. That is
True.
like really bad. Like they comes out like bananas are really bad for you or something. I don't know. Or like, it has to be something made recently.
Okay.
Something to do us in. Or it'll be like some sort of alternative like food, you know, like all the new vegan remakes and stuff like that. And they'll just
that
be like,
kind of
listen,
stuff.
if you've been eating that vegan chicken shawarma out of Sainsbury's, unfortunately, you're probably gonna die soon.
45 to the population smoked. By the numbers, that would have been close to 70 million
Oh
people.
my god.
Jesus
When medicine
Christ.
proved the associated health risks, companies changed their advertising tactics. Instead of "we're good for you," it became "we're not
Oh
as
my
bad
God,
for you as everyone
Lucy.
else." And
You're
you're gonna smoke
Ricardo.
anyway, so smoke our product.
Ricky!
That's crazy.
Fine,
You know
everyone's
who
addicted
else
by that
put out
one.
a few false claims? Thomas
Not
Edison.
Thomas Edison.
Would you
Oh.
believe that one of the most important inventors
Are they
of
gonna
the
slander
last
on his name?
200 years, a man famous for inventing the light bulb,
light
didn't actually invent
bulb.
it.
Wow.
It's a weird thought, isn't it? Edison managed to file an astounding 1,093 patents, but the light bulb was not one of them. In the year 1800, the first stages of light bulb technology were already in the works thanks to Alessandro
Ooh.
Volta.
Hmm.
Main man
he's got
Thomas
better names for
Edison,
electric,
well, he wasn't
Volta.
even born
Yeah.
until 1847, nearly 50 years later. A number of people added different elements to the light bulb. Warren de la Rue made Alessandro Volta's version more efficient in the 1840s.
Yeah.
English chemist Joseph Swan improved it again in the 1860s. But it was Edison in 1879 who created the cost-effective finishing touches and took it to mass market. Hardly an original idea.
Yeah.
Okay, from one famous inventor to another, we have no doubt that you've heard of Albert Einstein, the man famous for
I don't cross my dreams about Albert Einstein.
Yeah, no, they can't do this.
Don't do it.
couldn't even pass math class in high school.
Oh.
How is this possible? It's not. It's a lie. For a long time, it was widely believed that the ingenious Einstein
so he's just
actually
even better than we
failed
thought.
basic
Yeah,
math.
so he is actually
In
just
truth, it was the complete opposite.
smart.
He'd already mastered differential and integral calculus by the time he was 15.
Jesus.
Like all kids at that age do in their spare time, he came up with an alternative for the Pythagorean theory, just for fun.
Yeah, just normal Tuesday night, you know.
100.
This is a modern lie that
He grew
pops up
older
every
and
single
figured out how to
day,
make
and
other
it's
people
called
disappear.
Photoshop.
Oh,
Take a
yeah.
look. Miranda Kerr's waistline was changed for the cover of Vogue.
Right.
And according to the 2016 Maxim magazine, Priyanka Chopra has no armpits. We have seen Photoshop cover-ups in the media
that?
time and time again, and they are not going away anytime soon.
It's just like it's like Sidemen thumbnails. It's,
Yeah, not wrong.
It's like the truth. It's like the truth, but a little bit embellished.
Yeah.
Embezzled. I don't know what the word is.
Yeah. But if you're as skilled in the Photoshop community as I am, they will never know. Just kidding. Oh, you guys know my thumbnails. Although I do have Shoko Show actually help me with some of them. Not all of them. But some of them, the ones that I do, I know are absolute trash. So it's... no, I do appreciate the Shoko Show. Like, seriously, thank you. I don't know if I've ever said that, like, on a video, but yeah, he's helped me out, like, in the past, and I mean, not like, it's not like he's not going anywhere, like, no, he's here to help me, and I really do appreciate it. So, yeah. And if you guys do know, I do put his links in my description because he also did my outro that I now have, because I never had one before, it was just there. But now I have one because of him, and I really appreciate him for that, because that was seriously, like, so cool, and I loved it. I'm like, yes! Like, yes, I have an outro! So yeah. Yeah, just stuff. Just stuff. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. My brain not function no more. But yeah, like I said, it's the last video I'm recording for tonight. I'll finish up recording tomorrow. But obviously, like, I'm stopping recording now so that way I can get the videos edited to get them uploaded so you guys can watch them tomorrow. All right? And I thank you guys so much for everything. You guys are the freaking best. I love you all so very much. And I'll see all you beautiful, wonderful people in my next video. All right? Bye.